I saved over $1,000 a year on subscriptions using this free tool and only a budget. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and today we will design a solution to help automate cancellations of your subscriptions. This topic I've needed to discuss for a long time, and it does deserve a good amount of attention. Several of you have contacted me to discuss how subscriptions can make or break your budget. So without further ado, let's get into it. So if you look here, I have a very simple budgeting example. Now these are not the real numbers I use. I just made this up, but I do have subscriptions highlighted, and that's what we're going to go over. However, if you look here, budgeting and subscription management doesn't have to be anything complicated. You can make it easy. So all I did was go into a Google Sheet, write down or type in all the different expenses that I have each month. And again, these are made up, but these are normal expenses that people would have, whether it's a mortgage, grocery shopping, Amazon spending, utilities, insurance, phone bills, tolls if you have them. And then at the bottom, I have subscription. And all I did from here was, create a normal pie chart, pie graph that breaks down each expense here. So again, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. However, how did I get to, how did I find out how much I'm spending every month on subscriptions? Well, that's a great question. So one tool that I like to use is what's called Rocket Money. I've used Rocket Money for several years, and I think it's a great tool. Number one, it pulls in all your data from all different sources. So you can connect your debit account, your credit cards, your checking account, even your savings account, and it'll pull in all these different subscriptions. But the other thing I like is it gives you an automated way to start canceling things. So if you look at my screen, you'll see a couple things. Number one, this is for the month of November. This is being recorded on November 21st, right before Thanksgiving. But this breaks down what subscriptions you have over each day across every month. So in this case, I could see I've got a couple of these highlighted. The first thing I look at is here on Friday, November 4th, I had a payment to Affirm for something, $82.09. However, if I want to, I can go in here and edit the details, or I can hit cancel. I'm not going to hit cancel because obviously I don't want Rocket Money to start canceling that for me. But if you're struggling with a way to get a hold on all your subscriptions, you feel like you're being charged over and over again for the same thing, or you don't know what that subscription is. You don't know what that is. You see it on your credit card statement and you go, I don't know what this is. I don't know where this came from. I've been guilty of that, and I still do it, unfortunately, and I'm getting better, but I've seen things on my Amex bill or my Capital One bill, and I say, yeah, I'll get to it. I got 500 things going on at once, not paying attention. This really helps because number one, it shows you what you've got planned for each month in terms of spending. But then number two, I can look out and actually see further ahead. So I don't have to guess at what my subscriptions are going to be each month. Now in this case, it did take into account my Amex bill. So in this case, I'm looking at my Amex bill and saying, this is what I paid that day. This is what I paid that day. But if I look out here to the 24th, I've got two different charges coming in. One's LastPass, which is my password management software I use. And the other one is a payment on a appliance that I have spread out. However, if I go back, I can actually see some of the other things that I've paid. And I will say, I started cleaning this up at the beginning of this year, and I meant to make this video several months ago. I actually was working with a family member the other day, and this is how this got brought up, where she said, I don't have a handle on what I'm doing. I don't have a handle on where all my subscriptions are. I feel like I'm constantly being charged for things, and I don't have everything in one place. So if you see, I go back here, I've my normal Amex payments, but then I can also look back and see, okay, I've had this same Affirm payment. I can go back all the way. Here's August is where I think I really cleaned it up. But if you look at what August and July looked like, I know there was a lot. I did not have a good handle on this over the summer, but as things progressed, you'll notice if you look at what August is and then you go into September, it's a massive difference. So I was able to cancel hundreds of dollars worth of subscriptions over the month of August, setting me up for a fabulous September, October, November. And then if I look out into December, I don't have a lot. I have my normal Affirm payment. I have an Atmos payment, which is my my gas here at the house. I have a appliance payment there. I've got my normal Amex payment. But this really helps corral and lasso what your subscriptions can be if you don't watch it. I've seen people just look back over 2 or 3 years and go, wow, I spent $20 a month, $240 a year, multiplied by X number of years. Some people have been paying it, 10 years for, $20 a month. That's thousands of dollars they've spent on a subscription that they didn't know existed or that they're not using, right? It could be a situation that you're paying for something, you're just not using it. Now, I will say there are other features inside of Rocket Money. I'm not going to go over those, but if you're just looking for a way to see all your subscriptions on a calendar, where they're coming in, things like that, that's where this can really help. Now, it does have, like I said, upcoming payments. You can look at a calendar, you could view all, and this is free. I'll put a link down in the description for a link to this. I don't know that there's any, I don't believe there's any charge just to use this portion of Rocket Money. I have all my accounts set up in here. So you would go in here, you go to rocketmoney.com, you link your accounts. When it links your accounts, that means that you're linking your credit cards. That's what I have linked, and I have my checking account linked. There is a premium version that will help with the net worth. So if you go into the net worth tab, it's not going to let you because that's a premium feature. And I think it's only available on mobile as well. So we've went over this and designed a good solution here to get a hold of all your subscriptions. So what are some really good budgeting software? What's good budgeting software? What do I use, right? People always ask me, how do I budget? Am I doing it on a napkin? Am I doing it on the wall? Am I doing it on my phone? What does it look like? Well, here's a couple great budgeting pieces of software that I've used. Now, I haven't used all these, but I've used some of these. And I will say, if I go back here, this is what I use the most. Again, not these numbers and not these expenses, but it's a Google spreadsheet that I go in and I check every single month. I access that. I look at my Amex payments, which is where I spend most of my money. I cross-reference that with this, and I have a column over here that says plus or minus, that I spend over that or I spend below that. And I understand there are programs that will automate all that for you. I just tend to like doing it myself. I think it's a little more accurate. Okay, so let me go back over here. If you look at some of these budgeting suggestions for budgeting software, I've used You Need Another Budget or YNAB. It's a great for just if you want to get a handle on your overall finances. So it brings in everything: net worth, 401k, savings accounts, IRAs, CDs, stocks, ETFs. I've used Mint. I've used Mint several years ago. I do think Mint is a great option. I needed a little bit more, and there's too many ads at the time. I'll admit I haven't looked at Mint in several years, so things could have changed. Personal Capital is one that I use as well. Personal Capital, I think, has a really good interface, and it helps to bring in all your asset classes across different accounts. I would encourage, and I'll link this down in the description, I would encourage everyone to check out this site. Most of these are free, or at least have free trials on them. And if you are looking for a way to get a better handle on your budget, that's something you can do. Okay, so now you've seen how Rocket Mortgage and a budget can help eliminate some of your unwanted subscriptions and cut down on your expenses as we head into the new year. So that's it for today, and remember to design your financial freedom. Take care. Bye-bye.